Hey witches, hey, so I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be diving into a monthly favorites video. I miss doing these with you guys, so I kind of want to get back into the groove of doing them. Before we start, I want to throw a couple of things out there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and join my coven so you don't miss a thing. Also be sure to click the bell. That way YouTube will notify you when I do an upload. I also always announce uploads on my Instagram. I usually put it in the IG story or even an IG post. That way you guys don't miss things, because YouTube is notorious for not communicating with their subscribers. So I got you. I got your back up, girl. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about and kind of give you guys a heads up on was I got a comment the other day in one of my last videos, and this subscriber mentioned something about doing kind of like oracle readings or tarot readings, you know, here on YouTube for you guys. And I hadn't really gave it much thought, and then I kind of, because I've already been kind of doing that on Instagram, you know, I've been doing kind of like what I like to call as the Monday mantra, and I will go in an oracle deck. You know, I pick an oracle deck for the month, and then I make sure to draw a card for weekly guidance every Monday. And I've been posting that on IG for I think maybe a couple of months. So I've already been doing that on IG. And then I thought, well, why not do a bigger one, you know, maybe a pick a card type of situation, or like an actual reading kind of thing. Bigger one on YouTube once a month. So I'm thinking about doing it, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd be interested in seeing that from me, or if I should just not even waste my time with that and give you more incense blends and oil blends. I don't even know anymore. But I thought, you know, when I read that comment, I was like, maybe the girl, she has a point. Maybe you should actually look into that. That might actually be really fun. And because, you know, it gets me working with my decks more, because I hate going and having decks that are just sitting collecting dust. I don't want to be that witch who has like 20 tarot decks and 50 oracle decks, and then I'm like not using them. I want to use them, and this is a good way for me to be very hands-on, which you guys already know. I'm very much a tactile witch. I like to touch things. I like to see things. Yeah, that's how I learned the best. So I'm gonna give you guys that heads up. You might see some of those coming out from me maybe once a month, probably more in towards the beginning of the month, that kind of thing, to just kind of do like a general energy reading for the month, something like that. I don't know. I'm still kind of brainstorming about it. So yeah, if you guys are into it, keep an eye out, okay? Okay, so I got a variety of things to share with you guys for my favorites this month. First off, I hope everybody had a wonderful Ostara. Mine was and Easter, whatever it is that you celebrate. Mine was very chill, very relaxed. All I did was get up. You know, I had the day off, which was like, yay. I got up, I made breakfast for my dad and my daughter, and that was, you know, pretty much just kind of lounged around the house for the rest of the day. Not gonna lie. I needed the time to I needed the downtime. Really did. So, monthly favorites. On to something that might not be very witchy, but I mean, there are people who anoint their makeups and draw sigils on their makeups and do a little glamour spell on their makeups. Yours truly. If you guys have been seeing, you know, color on my eyeballs in the last probably 3 or 4 videos, it was probably this palette, not gonna lie. I have dipped into this thing several times. I am freaking in love with it. My favorite colors, these two, this guy right here and the guy on the bottom right there. Oh, they're so pretty. This guy. Ooh, did I mess it up? Yeah. And, you know, like they say, the pink, which got on my hand right now, it does kind of stain. So I think this guy retails for like 45 bucks, something like that. So it's kind of a splurge at Sephora, you know, but if you're into makeup and you really want to treat yourself, I say go and take a peek at this. You know, Sephora is really good about having the palettes out so you can, you know, do your little finger swatches and see it in person, which, you know, I really like, because sometimes it just doesn't translate well when you're watching a video, you know, of someone doing a tutorial or a product review, that kind of thing. So I'm like, yeah, if you guys are even remotely interested into this, I would suggest diving into the YouTube world of the Rivera palette reviews and tutorials and seeing how it performs, and then go inside and see it in person, because I gotta tell you guys, I'm in love with this palette. That is why it's making it to my monthly favorites, because I wanted to share it with you guys, and I just feel like it's a pretty good palette for summer. It's got some really pretty bright colors in there, and that's what I want. I'm tired of seeing brown, 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 brown all the time. But yeah, that guy. Now on to crystals. So the crystal that I gravitated towards this month was my little fluorite skull. So you guys have seen this before in one of my crystal hauls. I don't know, he was sitting on a shelf and I just grabbed him one day and I was like, I need this with me. And you know, I didn't even look up the correspondences for fluorite. I just reached for it. I think it was intuition kicking in and going, girl, you need this. It's kind of funny because as I'm sitting here and I was like, I looked up the, you know, the correspondences for fluorite and the good old, this book, the Crystal Bible. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The get it out. The Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall. For anyone who is looking for good crystal books, this is a good one. Also, there is the Crystal Bible as well. And I'm like, this one I have, and I just pulled it, and I was just reading the little fluorite bit right here, and it's saying, overcome any form of disorganization, fluorite draws off negative energies and stress. Incorporating structure into daily life, it purifies and reorganizes anything with physical or subtle bodies that is not in perfect order, cleanses and stabilizes the aura. So apparently that's what I needed. Doesn't this sound like the most Virgo crystal? I'm like, cleansing and reorganizing. Very Virgo. And you know, I have to take a little segue into that because I feel like in the month of April I did a lot of cleaning and reorganizing, like physically within the house. I made a huge donation to one of the local thrift shops. Like, I just went through and purged things, like for example, right back here there is a closet and there was a shelf and it fell. So it was like an avalanche of stuff that fell and just became a huge mess. And I opened the door and it was like, oh my, I'm gonna be here for a few hours. It literally took me like 3 days to go through that closet and reorganize everything. Not only did I do that, but I reorganized my daughter's room and went through her room and like got a lot of toys to donate. You know, just getting rid of things, you know, that she just doesn't play with. And I'm like, I tried to do that, I think almost every 3 to 4 months. I tried to go into her room and just go through things. And I went into my own closet too and got rid of clothes and shoes that I'm just not wearing anymore, or I don't like anymore, or they don't fit, etc. So yeah, there was a lot of that this month. It really felt like spring cleaning just like went and shot me into that zone. So it makes sense that now that I'm sitting here reading the correspondences to share with you guys, that I reached for this stone on my own. It makes perfect sense now. It all comes together. The organization stone. But also the whole cleansing and removing stress. Oh yes, because your girl has a lot of stress in my life. So makes perfect sense to me now. But yes, there were quite a few days. I remember one day in specifically was that I was, unbeknownst to me, I was gonna get my, you know, monthly curse later that day. And I have been diagnosed with endometriosis stage 3-4. I've actually had a laparoscopic surgery already. after that freaking surgery, still, your girl gets the worst freaking periods ever. Endometriosis is no fucking joke. I honestly wish that there was more information out there and more help for people who are going through it. Honestly, I've even thought about actually doing a video and sharing my story. I don't know, but you know, I have this platform, why not, you know? And if it just helps one person out there, good. Anyhow, all that huge, wow, I just segued off to spring cleaning and then segued off to endometriosis. Now you guys, she's just learning more and more about me, aren't you? So yeah, anyhow, this crystal was, I reached for it that day. I was having a moment in the morning. I had to get my daughter to school and I was off. I didn't even have to work that day, but I felt like I was just gonna explode. I was just like, oh my God, everything's going on. I needed a moment, and I grabbed one of my lavender sprays and like doused myself. I grabbed one of my amethyst crystal necklaces. Where are you? Right here. This one, you guys have seen this one already. The one with the crescent moon on there, and the amethyst is in there, as well as lavender buds. I put that on, and then I literally grabbed this crystal, and while I was driving, you know, I was like driving my car, and whenever I'd come to a stoplight or something like that, the traffic wasn't too bad, I just found myself picking it up and holding it and just going, whew, just take a few breaths, you know, do the breathing exercises, that kind of thing. So yeah, this was my little helper this month for sure. Shout out to Fluorite, man. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to share with you guys is actually an app, and I kind of like stumbled upon this one day, and I just clicked on an advertisement and went and kind of like checked it out, and I ended up installing it. From what I saw, was it sounded pretty cool, so I installed it, and it is one of those guided meditation type of things, type of situations, and I think you get maybe only 4 guided meditations for free. After that, you end up having to pay for them. However, I have been listening to those 4 quite a lot during this month, and most of the time what happens is, I'm not even gonna lie, I sit there and get my headphones, plug them in my phone, pop them in the ears, and just kind of like have a moment to, you know, relax, or, you know, come down from the day, the stresses of the day, go into a little bit of a guided meditation and calm down. And a lot of times, I kid you not, I freaking fall asleep. And I'm like, sometimes, you know, when your mind is like overactive and you're stressing, I'm like, or you just need to kind of like center and feel more into the flow. Guided meditations help me a lot. Sometimes I can't do it myself. Does that make sense? I mean, like, sometimes I can't just sit there and be like, quiet mind and perfectly zen it out. It just doesn't work, you know? So at least not for me. Probably because I'm a Virgo, and I'm probably sitting there going through my checklist going, did I do that yet? Yes, check, 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 check. That kind of thing. Anyhow, Synctuition is pretty cool. I have yet to like spend money on the other ones, so I'm kind of just staying in the free zone. And like I said, there are times where I put the headphones in and I listen to it, and not gonna lie, it knocks me out most of the time. It kind of does that thing where the music and the songs and the sounds kind of like move around you, so it kind of gives you that like surround sound kind of thing, so it really pulls you into that world. And I dig that, you know. If I definitely recommend listening to this with headphones on. Totally get some headphones. But there are times where, sometimes when I'm just getting ready for work in the morning and I'm putting on makeup or whatever, I will turn it on. Like, I think I've been listening to the one that's Catch a Wave or something like that in the mornings when I'm getting ready for work. And, you know, just to kind of like set the tone of the day kind of thing. And I'm like, I really like it. And I'm like, and I'm like, I am kind of tempted to take a peek and see how much those other songs are or whatever, but because I have to admit, I've sat there and wasted money on a freaking games, you know, the games that are left and right, you know, you buy like little additions and upgrades and shit like that. Why not freaking buy a meditation song, you know, that's gonna knock you out when you need it. But yeah, that has definitely been one of my faves this month. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to share with you guys, this is kind of a little different, but I'm gonna share it with you guys because it's really, really nice. This is a shirt that I found at Forever 21. It's black chiffon. It kind of has little button details up front, and then it's super duper long, especially in the back. It kind of has the shorter front, so it kind of does that sort of mermaidy thing. But it's black chiffon, and it has these amazing bat wing sleeves. It's long, it's drapey, you feel like Stevie Nicks walking around in it. I freaking love this shirt, and it was like $19 or $20 at freaking Forever 21. Just in case you don't want to do the black, they do have it in white as well. I'm like actually tempted to go back online and see if I can find another one so that I can have two of them. That is how obsessed I am with it. So yeah, I figured I would share this because I see a lot of these tops on all of the gothic websites and stuff like that, and they're charging up the wazoo for them, and I'm like, nah, I got you, girl. It's over at freaking Forever 21 for 20 bucks. Go get it. Okay, so I have two witchy channels for you guys. They're both fairly new on the circuit, and I figured I would give them shout outs. They both have YouTube channels, and they both have Instagram channels devoted to everything witchy. So the first person I'm going to mention is StarlightSpellSinger. You guys have probably already talked to her. I feel like she's a very active person in this community. I can't tell you how many times someone has uploaded a video, like Alvine Green has uploaded a video, and I'm fixing to go down there and comment and be all, hey girl, that was an awesome video, it was so nice to see you. And I see that StarlightSpellSinger, she's already there. She's already had a comment. She beat me. I'm like, she's a very active person in this community. Every time I turn around, I see her commenting and showing support to all the other witches. So I figured it is about time that someone lays down some love for her. So if you guys want another witchy channel to go and check out, her channel link will be down below, so you can click it and go check her out, as well as CoyoteMoon. CoyoteMoon has, it's nice to have another coyote in here, right? Not just me. But her channel is super duper new. I'm like, she just started out. I think she's had her Instagram a little bit longer. However, it's pretty much all things witchy for her too. So she's got a lot of like outdoor hikes and walks where she takes you along, you know, so you can kind of see everything out in nature in her neck of the woods, which I freaking love those videos because, not gonna lie, your girl here stuck in Arizona when everything's dry and dead. I live vicariously through your guys' videos when I can see actual green trees. But I'm like, she also has some like crystal meditation videos as well. So if you're really into that stuff and you guys are like kind of bored and want some new witches to follow, those are my two recommendations. All their information is going to be down below. Also, if you have a witchy channel and you're just starting out, or you're watching this, drop a comment down below and introduce yourself, because you know what? I want to make sure that I am following all the witches that I can, because I love watching everybody else's videos too. So I'm like, if you can think of someone that I might not be following, comment down below. If you have a channel that you want me to check it out, comment down below, and that way everybody else, we can all go look in the comments too and see if we're missing someone, okay? So yes, those are my 2 recommendations for witchy channels and witchy Instagrams. One of my last, ooh, can you actually see it? Yeah, you can kind of. You can kind of see the bottom of it right here. This is one of my last monthly favorites. I'm kind of like, you know, the altar's back here behind me, so I'm kind of putting things on my wall and, you know, going upwards. That's why I put it against the wall, as I wanted the vertical space. So now, this little shelf right here is one of those curio type of shelves, and I shared it in one of my hauls. I want to say it was like a collective haul from like the Goodwill and various antique stores or something like that. And I got it, and it was wood, you know, really boring. I think I got it for, oh my god, like $2 or $3, something like that. It was a score. I finally got my lazy ass around to freaking painting it black, and I put it up here, so she's on the wall. I wasn't too sure about her for a while there because I thought I was a little shaky. So it still is, like, I have to make sure that I balance the crystals, you know, like I don't get too much on one side, otherwise it's gonna be all, you know, and just everything's gonna fall. But I put it up there, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it and make sure that it'll, you know, stay up there before I add a bunch of like delicate crystals on there. So I'm like, yeah, it's actually been one of my favorites. I'm glad that I finally got around to painting it and putting it up on the wall and adding all my crystal babies to it. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.